Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm so excited. Today's video, as we're into, is a lovely build video of a beach house. And as to why I'm doing this, not that you're probably asking, but for me to explain, is we're currently doing a bucket list for my lovely summer, and I'm vlogging all of it over at Athena's Village. If you guys want to check that out yourselves, the link is down below in the description. But as part of that is visiting the beach, as it is the summer, and we're trying to be out in nature, touching sand, I guess. I don't really know. But either way, I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a beach house, but something I really enjoy it, and I've noticed that I do, particularly for shell challenges, and I thought I'd try to incorporate this in my build videos, is kind of a twist in the houses. I don't know if anybody will enjoy this, but I enjoy building them and kind of coming up with these ideas. I did ask over on Insta and also I believe our Discord, so if you guys want to join those too, I did ask for some ideas, and I ended up having one, and I'm excited to get into that, but I will share that last. Obviously, the suspense, obviously you can fast forward if you so desire, but I think without further ado, let's show off the build and get into it. So, as for the property shows, it took me a while to finally decide in Sulani, mainly just because I wanted to be in a sandy area. I was kind of thinking the cats and dogs world, not Henford-on-Bagley, sorry, Bridleton Bay. Oh my god, I feel like I said that wrong. But I ended up here just because I really want a sandy spot. I'm not gonna lie though, when reviewing different properties though, after the fact, because I was like, oh, can I move this somewhere else? It just felt really weird because I'm doing a very like beachy, coastal vibe of a home, and I used a lot of the cats and dogs items in this whole entire build. But in the end, the house size is a little too big to transfer into this other property that I found that kind of work in Henford-on-Bagley. So do mind that it doesn't match the houses near us at all. But I just felt like I really wanted a property that was kind of isolated, like slightly separated. I did think Tartosa, but the only like sandy area, it was like in the plaza area, and it felt like way too public for a place to have secrets. And it just didn't feel right. I felt like if we were gonna have secrets in a house, you wouldn't want to be that public. But the idea of this house overall is we're gonna have this like picturesque like outside interior also, but with a twist that's kind of hidden. And previously in builds that I've done, I have done one where it was like a secret like spot in that house that was there's like a trap, like a hidden door that they didn't know how to access, and it had like old treasures and whatnot, and then deep underground there was also like a buried skeleton and whatnot, or I guess it'd be a buried body. And the other one I ended up doing was like a secret, like not secret, but it was a scientist who was secretly experimenting on kids, and then also had a secret crush on their neighbor, and they were the owner of this property, so they had a snooping spot to snoop on their neighbor. So I wanted to do something a little different as for this one, and like I previously mentioned, I knew the fact that I wanted a beach house, mainly due to the fact that like it's you know, beach time, we're going to the beach waves and stuff. So I really inspired this overall build in a sense. And as for how I ended up picking the outside, as you guys can see here, I ended up looking at different reference photos, and I ended up finding this one house that I kind of wanted to replicate. I will say I changed up the back of the house because the back of the house in the images that I was replicating, which doesn't really matter, but just to preface, it was just flat in the back. So you guys will see soon that I just made it like slightly interesting, but I'm not a pro builder. If this is you guys' first time joining, welcome into the village. But this is kind of just, I thought this would be a short build, I'm not gonna lie, because I am going on a trip very soon, and I was like, okay, what's something I can do, like a one-off video idea, and I was like, ooh, beach house, that sounds like fun. And then I ended up doing a 3-story house, which honestly, the first floor is where the secret, the first floor is where the secret is. The second 2 floors is like the main house, but it is still relatively a big house. So you do have access, like those stairs there, to reach the first floor in a sense of the main house. Or if you want to, you can enter through the main floor, and then that main door in the front just takes you to a stairwell that takes you up, which you guys will see in the end and preface of the floor plan soon. So as for this build, I'm gonna say I did enjoy building it, and I really hope you guys could see the idea that I was prefacing, which did change a little bit. Like I said, I did ask for some ideas, and one of the ideas you guys had came up with was like smuggler, and I was like, oh, that was such a good idea, and I think if I want to do something like that, I think I would love to do a boat on the property. So let me know what you guys think on that. Let me know like overall with like these build ideas with a twist of something hidden, because I do personally enjoy them, and I feel like that's makes it a little more interesting to talk about, considering I do these like pre-recorded while I'm either watching or doing something. As for this one here, I was doing while I was on the phone call for over an hour with my lovely internet people for Verizon. But yeah, so here you guys get to see a little glimpse of the exterior, and this is just the basis. I haven't added windows everywhere quite yet because I haven't done the layout. I will do the layout really quickly off recording just so I can get the layout because it was a bit rough. So what we're going to be working on for first is the third floor, and the the top third floor is where the main bedrooms are. I thought this would be a little easier because then I can get at the scope of the style that I wanted and then certain items that I'm going to probably like replicate or use more than once, especially like furniture like couches and stuff, or even cabinetry that I might want to use just so we can get this theme. But I'm not gonna lie, I did not realize how long it would take me to get the color scheme that I wanted. I thought it'd be relatively easy because I was like, oh, coastal is just a lot of blues and then like this like light wood color. But then I was really struggling, one, to match the woods obviously, and then two, to match, because I was thinking like what's it called, obviously I want the blues, but then I kind of want this rustic look because out of the reference photos I had of like bedrooms for like beach house vibes or like just themed of the household, it was kind of like this like rustic look, like the half painted wood, and like I don't know, I really wanted like the wood paneling on the walls for the wallpaper. I could have changed the wallpaper in here, but I was already set in it. But you guys are you're gonna see like me clipping out because I changed this bedroom so many times that it was actually kind of ridiculous. I was like, okay, let me try with this set, and then I tried with different beds, and then I tried like layering like different, what's it called, because I wanted the headboard to mainly be different. That was my biggest issue. So I was thinking like, oh, what if I try to makeshift a headboard? But I ended up just using this bed because I thought this bed was so perfect. I found it really pretty, and I really wanted to incorporate it. But I will say, by doing this whole process, I found a lot of different items that I wanted to use throughout the house. And something I personally do when I'm building is when I find something I like, I just toss it to the side, and I'm like, okay, I'll come back to that later. So like later on the build, you'll see like my front yard has like 10, 15 different items, and I'm like, oh, I'll try to find out if I can use those later. But here is the look of the bedroom. I'm sorry, like I said, I like was searching for so long that I just stopped recording. But I think it looks pretty good. I hope you guys can see like the rustic / like blues coastal look. I will say I didn't feel like I didn't have enough like stuff. So if they come out with a pirate pack or something, or I don't know, what else would there be? Because we already have Suwannee, so I don't think we'd be really hyped about a beach pack. But I was just trying to do like this coastal like vibe and stuff. So kind of giving like what I kind of came up with the lore in my head. Not that there was particularly one while building. And when I was building, I just wanted it to look kind of clean and maybe even renewed some. And then also the fact that they are parents and that they have a secret, which I'll get into that eventually. So as for the overall like lore, as I was saying, I ended up figuring out that it's probably a mom and a dad in this household who do have a toddler. And this house was probably like a vacation home that they renovated that was probably like from like one of their ancestors, whether it was a grandparents or great grandparents, who ended up giving them the house to be able to utilize. And I kind of see these people, especially since they are someone with a secret, that they would probably want this place to be renewed, and they're probably a little pampered considering they have this nice of if it is a vacation home or they do stay all the time. I haven't really like ironed out the lore obviously, but as for it's why I have a lot of those like newer items, but also I'm trying to get that rustic look. And then some of the items are kind of like repeated throughout the house. Like I'll use this one couch, I think this is a high school year's couch, a couple of times throughout the house, mainly just it helps me with the color scheme. But as for the lore, I'm assuming they just really wanted to look picturesque, and which is why if the previous build, if you guys seen it, it's the house with secret, or what's it called, the secret, oh my god, the secret house. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to re-look at the title for that one. But with the previous build that I did, with the secret in it, I ended up incorporating a lot of the mom and the daughter stuff, like, in the same area. As for this one, because they wanted that picturesque house, the toddler stuff is very, like, limited into their bedroom and then, like, one area outside. So it's not as inclusive throughout the house, and I hope you guys can kind of see that as we go through this entire build itself. So I do want to say that I am sorry, I feel like I should probably do these builds more often while like talking while I do it, but when I record it, I'm allowed to do other stuff. So I hope you guys still enjoyed this video. I hope you guys can still see it, the image, and I just think it looks really pretty. So that is the bedroom. I did try to incorporate plants here and there. I honestly wish I had this many plants. I have a couple fake plants, but honestly, as it goes for plants, I have one rose bush, and if you guys have any tips for how to keep a rose bush alive, please let me know. I'm thinking of transferring it into an actual, like, planter right now. It's a little baby. Let's just say I already went on one vacation and I'm about to go on another, and I'm really, really scared that it's not gonna survive. I do have a cat sitter, so I'm gonna beg them to take care of my plant too. It's one of my children now. But now moving on to the bathroom, I will say that something I am currently trying to utilize a lot more is not using tiles on the wall. I forgot which YouTuber that said I think it's Vixella, but mentioned they don't really like tiles on the wall. Don't quote me on that one, I'm not quite positive. But somebody mentioned that, and I was like, oh wow, I just realized I constantly use tile on the wall, even though, like, my bathrooms don't have it like that. So I've been trying to make sure that I use different stuff, and it really fit perfectly with this beach house, and trying to instill the theme of the color scheme, I guess. So it was a bit different. I was trying to, like, mix it up with the cabinetry and whatnot, which you'll see shortly. Though I forgot that I don't usually like the shower against the wall. That usually when you have, like, half up, half down, I usually try to make the taller stuff against the walls that are constantly up. Kind of a tip that I got from James Turner, and I'm trying to keep instilling in my builds, because it can be very annoying in the sense of gameplay, which you can use this place for gameplay, but it does come with a secret. I don't know if anybody would want that. It's a really beautiful house, and then you get the secret. I guess you can always change that room. That's on the first floor, and the first floor is pretty small in a sense of area, so I guess you can change that. I'm imagining when we get to there, it could have been something else that was makeshift. And I feel like you guys are like, what is it? What is it? And I'm just driving you insane. Probably, but I really don't want to spoil it. I want to keep it as long as possible. It's going to be, it's probably, I don't know. What do you guys think? Honestly, comment down right now, what secret do you think I came up with this lovely beach house as I continue to sharing the lore. So as for more lore, I'm imagining that the dad isn't very present. You'll see he has a workspace, and then there's also a bar. Eventually we'll get there in his workspace. So imagine he's not fully, like, lovey-dovey or very present. And I'm imagining the mom also has her own, like, things that she likes to do. Maybe keep up with, like, what's it called? Keep up with the Joneses and stuff, especially with how the house is designed and stuff. And which will allude to why they have another secret. But as for that, I hope you guys can kind of see that. I didn't really come up with any hobbies. I usually try to do hobbies and stuff. I did incorporate certain things like, you know, the typical easel and a meditation thing, because those are, like, two easy things. But as for the lifestyles and what they do in there, I don't really have one, other than I thought maybe the dad would be, like, very businessy, which is why he has his own personal office. He'll probably have to take phone calls and, like, video calls while he's on this vacation trip. And that's what I'm kind of assuming. So as for this bathroom, you guys can currently see that I'm trying to work shift a double sink. I was originally wanting these robes in there because of the fact that it is like a vacation home, but it just looked kind of weird without a counter in the middle. But I will say, with the walls half up, half down, although these, like, the kitchen counter matches with the sinks, it just looks really silly, because I don't know if you guys could see the divot in the wall, but it just bothers me. But either way, I thought it looked nice. We get the double sink with the little extra doodads in the middle. One has a shaver for, I mean, you know, it doesn't have to be the masculine side, the dad side, but one has a shaver, and then one has what's it called, just a toothbrush and toothpaste, and then they each have their soap and container. I always try to make sure to include that. And now that I'm actually looking at this, you know what I completely forgot, and I'm so sorry. I forgot hand towel. That hurts my soul. I remembered a bath towel, but I did not remember a hand towel. But, I mean, maybe they, I don't know. Don't know. That's gonna bother me. Oh my god. I was like, oh, this build looks so good. I already reviewed and toured it before doing this recording. And now that I'm looking at it now, I'm just like, oh, I forgot that. So, and now moving on to their toddler. As you can see, it's a very neutral toned, like, bedroom. And I kind of feel like I said previously, they were trying to keep up with, like, this imagery of a room. Like, it's, even though it's the kid's room, and typically you can allow it to be messy and colorful and stuff for the child to, you know, help raise them and get them excited with stuff. This one is very neutral tone, and still I'm trying my best to follow the theme of coastal. I did struggle with finding art, which you'll probably see some of the art used multiple times, and then also like color matching the rugs, because some rugs I felt like looked a little too new rather than like feeding off of the rustic look. So it was a bit of a struggle. The main bedroom was the first struggle, but so thankfully once I got over that, things got a little quicker. I just honestly am only prefacing that because I thought this build would be a lot faster because it's supposed to be a one-off build video. But either way, in the end, I truly love this build and I love how it turned out in a sense. So I'd love to hear what you guys think of it, outside of the fact that I did forget a hand towel. I literally remember hand towels near the bar, like these little towels so you can like wipe off any messes, but I didn't remember them in the bathroom. I guess I was trying a new like thing in the bathroom already, but I can't believe I forgot the basics. But as for the room itself, I'm just adding these little shelvings in the wall just so it has like little extra doodads. I don't know, I'm somebody who likes to cover the walls with something. There's a few walls, I think barely any walls I left empty, but I typically, while building, I kind of incorporate that thing with myself that I like to cover the walls with stuff. Like my personal walls aren't even as covered as I want to. I still have a lot of my paintings that I haven't put up since we moved here, unfortunately. But as for this kid's bedroom, I'm just trying to incorporate like a little collage of like either paintings, and then on those shelvings I put like different toys and stuff, and just trying to make it like cohesive and make sense in the sense of blue. I did wish we had like, you know, little sailor paintings and stuff. We do have some, but I use those throughout the house so often that I was honestly at this point just trying to keep up with the color scheme that we have currently going for ourselves. But I do have all the basics. As for the potty, I put that underneath like a little mat, so you know, like a mat, if they spill, you can clean it up easily. And then I incorporated this item, little height checker. They had one that was a little less visible, and it still fits with the theme of like beach and stuff, and I thought that was really perfect. Or under the sea, I guess, I don't really know, but it fits the theme, I thought. I'm not usually somebody who likes adding wall decals, but I did incorporate wall decals a few times in this build, especially with the cats and dogs items. They had some, I guess, like sea themed items for decals that you guys will see later on in the build itself. So as to finish this wall, I ended up just trying to incorporate a mirror. The main trouble I had with this mirror is, one, I didn't want one that was like half, like, you know, like resting against the wall in case that is like a child safety hazard, is what I was currently thinking. So I had one that was like on the wall, and then over here I thought I needed something on the wall again, so I added that extra little decal and stuff. So here's the room and how it looks. I honestly think it's really adorable, but it's very like organized. I feel like a kid's room isn't usually this neat. We have everything in the basket and not as many toys as I feel like the kids should. But moving on into the other rooms, we have another bathroom over here, and I'm assuming this is like the one that is for the kid, which is why I use the shower curtain that could seem a little more like kiddish, I guess. I mean, it's really cute, and I honestly like colorful, like playful. I guess I am kiddish, but you know what I mean. I was expecting this room to be like the one they designated for the kid to go over to give them bathe and stuff, so it has that little more playful of a shower curtain. But as for the rest of it, it's pretty standard. We got the sink that from the previous bathroom. We got a little towel to dry off with. The kids' room already has the porta potty, so I didn't feel the need to make room for that in the bathroom. So that is that. I know this is still the top floor, third floor, and we still have 2 more floors to go. Second floor is kind of full, but the first floor is pretty quick and short because that is where the secret is. So as for this area, I kind of incorporated, and it's kind of like an open hallway / lounge room is what I made it. I ended up adding a piano because I feel like that just kind of made like it fit perfectly. Originally I was thinking like a couch, but I felt like that didn't really make sense because like why are you sitting there? I don't know. Honestly, hallways are so awkward, and I just feel like you have to put something in them, even though my hallway my hallway's a little too small, but my hallway has nothing but like a little closet door. Do you know what I mean? So, or 2 closet doors, and I was like, okay, well, we'll fill it with something. So this one had a piano. Over here, I'm making a lounge room. I'm kind of imagining if they have guests they want to entertain, maybe listen to music and whatnot. This is the spot to go. They do have a room with a telly downstairs, but up here, I don't know. I just thought it was like a spot maybe where they dance and whatnot. They have a little dance party, or if you do any of the Sims 4 events, they can dance up here, you know, because typically some events you have to dance together or listen to music and whatnot. So we have that up here, and I feel like it fit the house overall to have like these little extra seating rooms. Although I don't know how many people they're personally hosting, considering the fact that they're trying to keep a secret in this household. So I don't know how many people they're actually hosting. So it might honestly just be here to maybe they're a social media influencer. I don't really know. Considering it's such a picturesque house, I feel like they have to be on the internet with something. I mean, if the dad is a business owner, maybe their life is very like, what's it called? Oh, that would be really bad if their life is very out there in the sense of media, and then they also have a secret. But I don't know how they'll keep up with it. But maybe that's why it's picturesque, or maybe, like I said, they just want to keep up with the Joneses. Maybe it's not really for media, but they just want to keep up with, to say, you know, when they go down to, I don't know, where would they go? To the bar. There's literally not a whole lot to do in Sulani, other than, you know, the beach life. But whenever they go out to a business meeting, they're like, yeah, I have that too in my house. We're cool like that. Although the Sims don't have cars, we have a sitting lounge that looks pretty. So I don't really know. I'm trying to keep up with the lore, guys. It's kind of falling through right there. But as for the color scheme and like how it's looking, I hope you guys are enjoying it. Like I said, I enjoyed like building this, as massive as it was. I personally wish it was smaller, but I do want to incorporate more of these in the future. If you guys have any ideas and different secrets that we should incorporate, maybe even the ones that you guys come up for this house, I'll try to do in the future. Because I really do enjoy being able to do that twist. Although it's not really as downloadable, I feel like, for the sense of like your guys' gameplay. But I don't really know. I think I might keep it up with it as a sense of like my, you know, free time at least. Or maybe when we do another shell challenge is usually when I do it. Because I love people touring my build and they're like, wait, what is this? And it starts to add up and whatnot, and really trying to incorporate that story. I do know one YouTuber who does kind of that in the sense of like different, like you're like, wait, what kind of build is this? I can't remember the name off the top of my head, unfortunately, but kind of the idea of like twisted ideas, I guess. It doesn't have to be that twisted. I'm not going that twisted, guys. Don't worry. Oh my god, they're probably already gone for those who were worrying. Like, what kind of secret is this? It's not like that. I feel like if you've been in this village for a while, you already know, like, it's not going to be that extreme, hopefully. But with The Sims coming up with a whole, like, woohoo pack, you know, honestly, who knows what this game is going to now. So let me know what you guys think on that pack, too, with that coming out literally very, very soon when this, while I'm recording this, it's the, what's it called? Trailer? Not trailer. I don't know. A video is coming out for it tomorrow, literally, while I'm recording this. So I'm excited to hear more. Probably while you're watching this, though, you probably already watched that video and you're like, I already know all that. Who knows? Maybe you've already bought the pack. Who knows? The pack's not out yet. They don't even have a release date. But I'm getting ahead of myself. As for this lovely living room space, I'm just kind of adding little extra doodads. This place has a lot of books. I'm assuming one of the couple spouses, I don't know, the adults like reading, because I have books incorporated everywhere throughout this build, even in the bathroom, which you guys will see later on the downstairs bathroom. Then we have some in this little makeshift shelf that I wanted to incorporate. I think it fits, honestly. I just felt like it needed a little something, and then I ended up adding little, what's it called, coffee tables. I'm really bad at adding coffee tables in the sense of feeling like it works, because I technically have one, but I accidentally got one because I was like, oh, extra storage space, and I was like, oh, that's a coffee table. Don't ask me why. But I incorporated these two, and then I just made one smaller and added a little aesthetically pleasing item, such as a candle, and then another book, which you guys will see. And then I incorporated glasses all throughout the build, which is really subtle unless you notice as I place them. So one of the couples wear glasses and they constantly lose them. So even though they have this picturesque house, they do make sure that they have glasses everywhere throughout the build. I'd assume it'd be the dad, maybe, or I don't know, because I have the glasses here in the living room, I have one in the bedroom, and then I have one down in the office. So I guess it'd be the dad, would probably be forgetful of the glasses. I don't know, I added that little extra detail because I just felt like it was an extra piece of clutter that I could put throughout the house that still made sense to have a bunch of. So I think we're coming to the end of this lovely little space. There's not a whole lot else I can add. As for the lighting, I do change the lighting in each space as we get through the space. I use the big giant ones, I'm sorry, which you guys can change. I just find it easier for myself for when I'm like, oh, I want to change those out. I use, what's it called? I use the big ones just to help me remember. So now moving on to the outside, as you guys can see, I do this little sandcastle space, or sandy space. I'm assuming it's just like placed there, it's not built in, and that's kind of for the toddler. As you guys could see in the lounge space, I didn't really incorporate anything for the toddler. So they have this space and then their bedroom. Although it may seem like it doesn't make sense to have that little sandy spot, I feel like it did, considering toddlers technically can't go up and down stairs right away. And then also it's probably easier for the parents to just have the toddler on the patio rather than free ranging it outside. So that's what I'm kind of imagining. And then over here here I use the Tamarian chairs because that's actually the chairs that were in the image of the house that I was kind of replicating. I think they made a lot of sense, and I just added a telescope so I can have that little activity out there, because even though I have these little sitting spots, unless you tell your Sims to go out here and sit, or unless you incorporate an activity, that's not really gonna be something they go out and do, so I made sure to add that. So I think we're done with floor 3 officially. That is that. So now moving on to floor 2, what we're gonna be getting into. As for, we have, what's it called? We have a, I guess it'd be like a, I don't know, another lounge space, but it's more of a game spot. I'm imagining, like, you know, if they did invite anybody over, this is like where they have cards, or I guess a family night, they played card games, or I think you can do board games at that table, or a couple of different others. We also have another bathroom, then we have the office space, and another little open lounge space with a bar and whatnot, and then also the kitchen slash dining. So that's gonna be it for this floor, but now I'm working on the study itself. As you can see, I'm trying to like copy and paste a lot of the items from upstairs just to make sure, I don't know, I just feel like it makes the house more cohesive, and like I said, the color scheme a lot easier. The color scheme was very hard for me to do. Let me know if you guys done a beach house. Was it easy for you? I mean, obviously I'm somebody who's not like a pro builder or anything. I'm an aspiring builder, so I don't really know items that well, and I didn't really use a whole lot of debug items in this build because it was already massive. So, and there's no custom content, so if you guys do want to download it, it is downloadable, but I was not pack restricted whatsoever. So just a heads up, you'll need a lot of packs. I did use a lot of the cats and dogs, high school years, and I can't remember what else at the top of my head right now. I think Get Together. If you can reference any, let me know. But, and I know I used some base game items, but like everybody has base game, hopefully. Otherwise, you don't have the game at all. So, but this is where I ended up actually finding a few items like barrels. I was like, why didn't I incorporate barrels right away? Because that makes sense. And then obviously the wheel on the wall. And I just felt like it made it look really, I don't know, cutesy. I was like, I felt like I was really lacking on the whole like ships and like sea decal decorations and whatnot, or even seashells to put in throughout the house, because I feel like that's a little decal you want to incorporate. But I guess if you own this house and you play in it, you're gonna like collect shells and whatnot as you live here. You can, you know, comb the beach and whatnot. And just adding a few more extra plants. I honestly kind of forget about the what's it called, blooming kit, you know, the plant kit, whatever it's called, blooming something, I can't remember, but they have some really nice plants, and I honestly keep forgetting, so I made sure to select the kit itself to make sure I incorporated those here, because they're honestly really pretty. I do believe the kit was even free at one point. Don't quote me on that, but I absolutely love that kit, and being able to utilize that all throughout this build. So as for the rest of the room, I think I just added a few extra little doodads, especially the wall covering. And there's that shelf again from the, I think we used that upstairs for sure. I honestly just love the color. I was thinking of using birch throughout the house originally, but then I was like, I can't match woods that consistently throughout the Sims. So unfortunately, I was just like, we'll use the lighter wood throughout the house. I don't know if you guys can tell, I literally went from like this light brown to just white to like gray tones, and I was like, we're gonna make it work, which is why I try to replicate, like copy and paste like the couch and then the dresser and like I think the bookshelf too, just because it was like it's already hard enough to like match those. So let me know if, I think it did pretty well in the sense of matching and stuff. But yeah, so this is kind of like I said, a lounging room where you can play games, and then there's a bookshelf and then extra like couch in the back. So I'm assuming if they ever do host, I guess the plan is to host. The secret itself I think is kind of hidden as long as your guest doesn't wander back there. But you'll see eventually that the secret is blocked off by 2 doorways, so hopefully they can't get in. But I think this is a pretty cozy little gaming room, and honestly, I think my Sims should have more gaming rooms, because I absolutely love that table, and definitely when we get into our Rent to Riches series and building his house, I think he needs a gaming room too, if you guys know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I highly recommend that series. I really do love and adore that series so much, but it's probably going to be coming to an end soon, considering there's a whole new expansion pack coming out soon. So as for this bathroom, I was trying to mix it up in the sense of just a tub, since this is the downstairs bathroom and all the bedrooms are upstairs and they each have a bathroom already and with a shower. So this one I thought would be a little fancier and whatnot. I'm assuming, you know, in The Sims, people are probably going to be taking mud baths down here, but it just didn't feel like it needed a shower. I was trying to do the overhang height lights and whatnot, but I couldn't necessarily find the ones that made sense. I guess wall lights is what I'm looking for. I just feel recently like feel like I couldn't find one that matches. I just feel like a house like this should have had one, but unfortunately I couldn't find one that I personally liked and then also matched the golden like sink and the gold handle on the sink there. So I just use the big light. Plus I like the brighter lights to be able to show off the color scheme and whatnot rather than the warmer hues of the lights that were shown through the wall lights. I don't know if that made any sense. But basically, I'm just using the giant light. If you want to change it when you download, you absolutely can. They're very easy to see. So if you have slightly bad eyesight, there you go. But this is where I was mentioning I ended up adding a lovely little bookshelf on the shelving above the tub. I just felt like the wall needed something, and I couldn't necessarily find a piece of artwork that made sense. And I don't usually like putting a towel rack above the shower, like the shower or underneath a tub or anything. Because if I was me, I'd probably knock my towel in the tub and I'd be sad all the time. So I try not to typically do that, but considering I put up books up there, these people got it good and they're probably fine anyway. So I don't know. That's just, counterintuitive in my thinking, I guess. So I think that's about it for this bathroom. Now moving into the study, I ended up being able to use a darker, blue. And I kind of wish I did throughout the house, but I really wanted this place to feel light, inviting, welcoming, like they got no secrets to go on. So this is like the only room I end up using the darker blue. But I just thought it was really pretty considering like navy blue is kind of like a color scheme that you typically want throughout a house. But like I said, it just makes more sense for the light blue to go throughout the house. So this is like the office that I said that was probably for the dad. We have the bar next to the table and whatnot. I was able to incorporate those lovely paintings. I think that's from Cat and Dog in that room. But the only sad part is it comes with a black frame, and it doesn't necessarily feel like it makes sense in the other bedrooms to have such a the black frame around the paintings. I really wish you can change frames and whatnot just to make sense for whatever house you have. But I was able to finally incorporate them in this lovely room. I did also add like a clock and the glasses I said, and just really make it like kind of have those repetitive details just to tie it all together. So I'm honestly, I think that's about it for the lore. I don't think I have anything else to say. I was just trying to come up with something to make more sense of this build overall. Literally the only lore is that I had while building was it's a beach house, and they have the parent and a child, and then they have something locked up downstairs basically. So that another cute clue to the secret itself, and that was about it. I knew that I wanted it to be kind of picturesque in the sense of like really pretty. Maybe they only come here for vacations, and that was about it. As for the lore and the family and whatnot, I wish I came up with more because I feel like I definitely could have, but I guess if you wanted to download this, it's probably better for you that I didn't come up with so many different doodads and stuff, because the only thing you probably would really realistically want to change if you're somebody who's like, I don't really like building, I just like downloading builds, is the downstairs room, unless you go off the lore of the secret that's down there. So that's kind of what we got going on. And reminder, I can't wait to read your comments down below for what you guys thought the secret was before I came up with it. So now just adding the next few doodads, just a little plant, and then I was thinking of putting a TV on this wall, but I felt like that looked a little too fancy for this place, because this place isn't necessarily tech savvy, although they do have some technology. So I was like, I just ended up putting a painting up there. I feel like it would have if the office was a little bigger, because then they could, if they had the dad and then like any work friends comes over, they can like lounge in here and hide out. But it's not necessarily a hidden little den, it's just an office workspace for them to work at and do their work. So absolutely adorable. I used a lot of little clutter items. I think that was like honestly one of my favorite kits that came out, the clutter kit and the bathroom kit. In my opinion, I use those items way too often. And now I think it's Blossom something, the plant kit. I really like to incorporate that one more now that I remember. I need to click on it because when I'm digging for plants, I feel like I typically don't click on those ones. So, and now moving into the, I guess, bar lounge room. It's kind of like you can see like a hallway, and then you're outside to the outside patio. So it's kind of like an open room, but I just feel like I don't know, if we're like in the sense of hosting, if we are ever hosting, or if this is just a little getaway, this is definitely like, it feels like a little fancy. And if you have such a nice house that you have a full bar, I think that's so cool. The thing that I think they do need to incorporate in The Sims, not necessarily for this build itself, but is a bar cart. I feel like we need more bar carts. Like, that's something like I don't have one, but my friends and like I know other people who are around my age have bar carts. Like that's the whole thing to have. I don't. I try not to keep any drinks at my house. Whenever I have a bottle that my friend left at my house, I'm like, we're gonna bring it to your house next time. But as for this room, it's just kind of like the bar itself and then a couple lounge chairs, which you guys will see. I didn't feel like there was much room for much else in this room, but I think it still looked pretty cute and cozy. I did try to see if I can use the chairs, from upstairs, but it just didn't feel as like it fitted. So I just used the chair that I utilized in the office, and I just feel like it made a little more sense, especially with I think those are industrial countertop chairs. Actually, I can't remember. Don't quote me on that one. And then I also added this like wood paneling. I don't know. I just feel like it broke up the white walls. I don't know if it makes sense, particularly since this is like the only room with these extra like wooden panels. I guess I could in case they like, I guess, stylize this room to have it. But I just feel like the walls in this room needed a little extra something. And then this is where I'm using those little extra doodads, not doodads, decals, wall decals. I mean, they are doodads, but little wall decals, because I just felt like they fit the theme of the beach house and whatnot. And I need to honestly look through those more. I kind of just skip through those and go straight to paintings, but at least for this house it made sense. I usually only look for wall decals when I'm doing like a kid's room or like a kid's bathroom. But honestly, I need to look up some more ideas for how to incorporate them and stuff. I also did add the Horse Ranch like wine bottle container thingy where you can put them in there and they can store up. But that's about it for this lovely room. I think it honestly looks really cozy and I'm absolutely in love with it, even though it's not my typical style. So now moving on to the hallway. Not much can go in here because we have like two awkward hallways, like from the front area and then this one. But I feel like it needed at least like a little, what's it called, tabletop or something just to fill this hallway. Like I mentioned earlier, I just feel like hallways just need something to occupy them so they're not so just empty. So this one I just incorporated this item and I feel like it fit pretty perfectly, and I like it has the little basket underneath and whatnot. But now moving into the kitchen, I am so excited. We're coming to the final countdown. Sorry this like video is I thought it's a lot longer than I personally thought it was gonna be, but I hope you guys are enjoying it just as much as I have, and especially creating this. And let me know if you guys like would be interested in downloading. I feel like this is definitely more for showing rather than downloading, but the upstairs is very much so. But as for the kitchen itself, I ended up utilizing the For Rent countertops because it comes with that really pretty navy blue top and then white for the counters just to break up the walls. I ended up using wooden paneling. I don't know, it was a little different for me. And then as for the corner piece, I used I think it's is that Home Chef pack, because I just felt like the corner piece that came with the with For Rent pack it just didn't feel like it fit, so I ended up utilizing that one, even though it technically does go up to the rooftop, like it's in the ceiling. You can't see it on the second floor, so technically I just didn't find it problematic. Hopefully it isn't problematic for you guys. And then I also use this paper towel one. I like mixing it up with the countertops. It just feels kind of sad when they're all the same. So now moving on to little extra doodads in the kitchen. I really wanted if you're wondering why the dining table is right there, I really wanted it in the window. I don't know why I kept it like that, but I guess I was determined to keep it there under the window seal, even though the window seal is like half covered by the flowers in the window, but they get that little extra lighting and can look out from their table and whatnot. So I wanted it there, even though it's like really close to the counter. So which you guys will see when I incorporate a dishwasher machine, I ended up having them put it quite far away from the sink. I usually like to put my dishwashers close to the sink, so if you want to like rinse it off and then put it in the thing right away, easy peasy. But unfortunately with this build, I guess build flaw is the dishwasher is very far away, which I do incorporate a spot for the dining table though for the toddler, so we have a little toddler seat and whatnot. And I don't normally do this, but I kind of like that the fridge is separated from the rest of the kitchen. I feel like I usually line everything up on one wall, but I like that the fridge is separated and then we have a little trash can there. So that is the lovely kitchen. I did incorporate like a coffee machine, little tea kettle thing, ice cream, and then also a waffle thingy, and then also like pastries and whatnot. So I feel like we have a lot of little doodads, they're fully decked out. I feel like the ice cream made sense because they're probably coming here during the warmer weather, the warmer season. As for the waffle and the coffee, and then they also had like a kettle. It's just a little extra doodads and appliances, because I feel like this is a fancy kitchen that has a lot of counter space that we could definitely incorporate that. So that is it for the kitchen. I do change out the rug later because I steal that rug for the entryway. But, oh, I also forgot to add soap here. I usually like to add soap, and then also, I can't believe this whole house, I forgot to incorporate any hand towels. I just can't believe I forgot to do that. And another thing I just thought of that I wish The Sims has is I personally like having decadent towels in my kitchen, like over the stove handle, and I think they need to incorporate that, Sims. Come on. I just changed mine out to be, because I realized I had my I keep my Valentine's Day one whenever I don't have a proper seasonal one, because I like pinks and the reds and whatnot, and why not? But I just changed mine out to spring because I just realized I have a little spring hand towels and whatnot. It's like my one little doodad I have, and The Sims need it, okay? I don't have all the extra cool appliances quite yet in my life, but I do have my cool hand towels. So now moving on to the entryway, I have a little coat rack area, and then you can see I'm trying to incorporate these few items that I have out front. I just feel like I really wish it matched, because those rugs are so pretty, but I just feel like it didn't really match the rest of the house. So I ended up stealing the one from the kitchen, and then I changed the kitchen one to be just a different color of the same one. And then I do love a good welcoming mat, so we have that so you can wipe your feet off and whatnot. And as for this couch, I will say I do change that out, but I do use that one outside. It was so pretty. The couch is so pretty. I think that's a for rent couch, but don't quote me on that one. But I end up using outside because I am using the one that I've been using throughout the whole house. I know it's really repetitive, but it fits and it matches. And I do still use that couch. I just use it for outside because I feel like it just made a little more sense and add a little extra lounge area out there. So now for the extra little doodads, I wish I incorporated an umbrella thingy. I need to use umbrellas again more often in my game. I've been kind of slacking on the whole umbrella thing, because if you use the umbrella thing, I think it's from Seasons, you can choose what kind of umbrella you want. And I kind of forget, even though I've been playing with vampires a lot recently, I'm just like, you can have the black umbrella. We all have it, I guess. But I didn't incorporate it here. It's just kind of reminding me of that. So I think that's about it. I just ended up adding a little vase there just to add a little extra something. And that is about it. We have like a little mail key thingy. And the rest of the hallway is pretty, like, I can't add anything else. So now we're going to go outside and just add a little few extra doodads just to make it feel like we're utilizing the patio space. So I ended up adding like a little spot to cook. I don't know if you necessarily want what's it called? A grill underneath the covered area. I don't know if that's necessarily something you want, but it's The Sims, so hopefully it's not too problematic. And then here you can see I have the easel here, and then I have a little meditation thing out the back for them to utilize, and then some extra chairs back there. So nothing too crazy, but definitely something they can use. So now for the third floor, though. I'm so excited. So now to finally, I'm just going to share the secret while I'm currently doing the garden and whatnot. So the secret is that they have a secret child, because I feel like you can already see it, but a secret child that is toddler that is locked up in their first floor. And obviously the first floor is technically not ideal, but the door and access way is behind this little garden bed area. And the original idea that I came up with, I felt was a little too dark for The Sims. So I changed it up into the fact that like they had a sim that or I guess a kid that they necessarily didn't want the public to see or know about, or maybe they even heard like a prophecy from a witch that said, or spellcaster I should say, sorry, The Sims, said that this kid needs to stay locked up, kind of a Rapunzel moment, or who knows. Or I've seen a horror movie where the kid apparently was born looking very creepy, and they locked him up. So maybe, because I know you guys in the 100 Baby Challenge don't like aliens, maybe it's a blue alien baby they got locked up. I don't know, but honestly, I will share my original idea. I felt like it was a little too dark, but I thought maybe why their kid's room was so picturesque, their toddler upstairs, is because their kid ended up going missing, and so they ended up kidnapping a kid, was my original idea, and they just kind of had to makeshift this room really, really fast and hide the kid because they started to panic. But I feel like that idea is a little too dark. So I really like the idea that maybe it's, an alien kid, or maybe the dad got kidnapped by aliens, got pregnant, and they want to keep this kid hidden, and they're the same age as their actual kid that they had. I kind of like that idea a lot more than the other one. The other one was a little too dark for me. So even though I guess it's a secret kid that's locked up, and that's still kind of dark. So I'm trying, okay? But as you guys can see here, you can enter the first floor and then head upstairs. I did try to incorporate that coat rack again, but it was just blocking too much space. So we have a little mirror there, shoes, and then a little bench for you to take off your shoes and whatnot as you enter the house, if you enter this way. But I feel like people would be like, oh, wow, this is it down here? I feel like there's more room. Like, what's over there? But you can only access that point from the back, and there's also, like, a 2-doorway to get over there. So it's kind of supposed to be, like, misleading in the sense of, like, hopefully people don't catch on, hopefully, because that's probably why they're not inviting people as much anymore, too. So that, as you can see, they also have a bedroom and a bathroom down here. So they, hopefully, all you have to do is drop off food, and they don't need much else. But they are supposed to be a toddler in the sense, so they hopefully will still get help and whatnot. Hopefully. But, oh, and also, I don't know if you guys saw, I put bees back there. So if anybody wants to go that way as they view the garden, hopefully, the bees are like our guard dog or something. So as for the lovely bedrooms for this sad poor child who's locked up in the secret, let me know I can't wait to read you what you guys guessed and whom even got remotely close. But as for this poor kid who's locked up, I was originally trying to think of like changing the flooring so they're a little more rustic, but I ended up making it the same flooring. I just made the walls a little like the dirty wallpaper that we have. And then as for the bathroom and whatnot, and the bed, I kind of imagine they just like got something and just like rushed it and put it in here. Like the whole house is so nice and all this stuff looks really like grimy and dirty because they don't want people to know, and I'm assuming they're like, if we buy it or go out and get it, maybe people are going to start questioning, like, do we have another kid? Was there something wrong with ours? Maybe they have a tight-knit community, and so they have to like really make shift and put this together, I'm imagining. And that's kind of like what I'm imagining as I like built this and like the putting like cobwebs. I'm imagining though this used to be like a storage room or something. Maybe like they used to keep whatever like I don't know, like whatever equipment they had, maybe their gardening stuff they used to have, whatever like storage, stuff on this first floor. And then they just made shift it into a room for this secret kid that they have. And yeah, I don't know, I did enjoy building this part. I feel like even though it's not as much in this part, like there's not a whole lot that I could incorporate. I just feel like they wouldn't give the kid like toys. There's not many like rustic, like old looking toys. I tried to incorporate some, but it just didn't feel like it worked. So I did make sure to add the potty. Although it's not really necessarily like a rustic or like old like looking potty. I used the For Rent one just because it doesn't look. It's just like a little pot. Although it's not like a bad pot. It's just compared to like being able to sit on a cushion. I'm imagining that was kind of I don't know. Feel like I'm backtracking my logic, but that's what I kind of do. I took out the light, so we just have the lamp in there. And then as for the bathroom itself, I used I think it's the laundry day light, or laundry whatever pack, whatever, and light in the bathroom, because it's supposed to be like one you just like, that used to be a closet probably. And that is about it for the room. As you can see, it's really dark and like sad, and I feel really bad for this kid, whoever is secretly living here. I really like the alien idea, so let me know what you guys think on that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. And for this whole entire build video, like I said, it's very lengthy in the sense of like going through it all, but I hope you guys enjoyed waiting for that and whatnot. But here's the exterior prior to like adding a few things, and then I just added a few little landscaping and whatnot. So that's about it for this lovely build, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yay, that'll be it for this video. Because remember, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're new to this village, welcome on in, guys. And I will preface, if you guys are new, welcome on in. I try to do build videos here and there, but I'm doing a lot currently just due to the fact that I'm going on a lovely trip. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I will be posting vlogs over on my vlogging channel, so I highly recommend checking that out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I cannot wait to read your guys' comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!